Hear me okay, Aim?
Yes, perfect.
And so today I've been out at the pool with my kids all day long, but in between that, I did a conference call with Amy. I've done two different three-way calls, and then I had a conference call earlier right before lunch. So I love this company because it gives you the freedom to, do what you want with your life and weave Isagenix in. And even in doing that, you guys, you can hit a six-figure income. And we have a lady that we started working with just in January, and she just hit six figures 2 weeks ago. And so she's limited for 5 months, and she just hit 3-star, which is a six-figure income. So, it doesn't matter what your situation is. I mean, you can make it happen. It's a choice. And talking to her, she lives far from where I live, and I talk to her all the time. And, it's just a decision that she made to take massive action. And so that, I guess, is the first thing that I would say to you is, number one, for your business to reach six figures, it is 100% your responsibility. So, don't be blaming your upline. Don't be blaming your downline. Don't blame your husband or your kids or your dog, whatever. I love Amber. I can see Amber there with her little baby. She brings him everywhere to every meeting. She never has an excuse. And so she'll hit six figures. It's going to happen. So you guys, I mean, number one is personal responsibility. And there's a book that it's awesome. It's called As a Man Thinketh, and it's by James Allen. But it says in here, it's just awesome, and it's tiny. It's only like 50 pages. But one of the things it says is, all that a man achieves and all that he fails to achieve is a direct result of his own thoughts and his own individual actions, his own individual responsibility. And it says, a strong man cannot help a weaker man unless he is willing to be helped. And even then, the weak man must become strong of himself. He must, by his own efforts, develop that strength. And so, you guys, I do not like the blame game. Like Amy's right, I am like direct. So no, I love you all, but that's how I work this business. That's how you'll have the best results if that's what you do. So 100% responsibility. So if your cycles aren't where you want, I always say get out of mirror. Like our cycles sometimes are stagnant, and I'm like, crap, I got to go recruit more people. I've got to go help more people. I've got to, cast the vision better. I've got to get in the trenches more. So, if you're wanting to hit six figures in 6 months, it's work, but it's so possible and it's so worth it. And so Amy's right. Like on our team, I love, the accolades for us are fine, whatever. But what gets me excited is what we see our team members doing. And we have over 90 people on our team at a six-figure income. And we have 14 people who've earned over $1 million, just amazing numbers because our people know the system, and there is a system. And the first thing is massive action. And so, when I enrolled a long time ago, 10 years ago, and I still do the same thing now. Like we just had 2 enrollments last week, 2 personal enrollments. So we're still out working, but those enrollments I shared with exactly the same as I did 10 years ago. Just now I use iSaMovie instead of taking DVDs, so it's much easier. But I still let the tools do the work, because if you want to build a huge team, you have to have duplication. Jimmy Smith has always mentored me, and he always says, 10% of your business is perspiration and 90% is duplication. So I use the tools. I use iSaMovie. I always have them watch that, and then I follow up with a 3-way call. But you have to take massive action if you want to hit 6 figures in 6 months. So, and that's like Amy said, we've maxed out 2 centers and my mom, so 3 basically. And we're working on our next one. And our goal is to get by New Year's kickoff in January to have that at 3-star. And so there's no difference in where you guys are and where we are, because building that reentry is us by ourselves doing that, starting off from scratch. So, even if you signed up today, you're in the same place we are. It's just a choice to do that. And so the massive action looks like, when I first started, I told Justin, I said, I'm going to talk to 100 people in my first 30 days. And he was like, okay, whatever. And you don't have to have that goal. It can be whatever suits you. But what I did was I took a yellow notepad just like this. I live by these yellow notepads, and I numbered it 1 to 100. And then I went and I met with people, and I would just call people like Shirley. I'd call you up and I'd say, hey, Shirley, this is Hillary. And it mattered how I knew you, whether it was, family friend or how, but basically I got myself in front of you. And there's a call recorded. It's 30 minutes long, but it tells you exactly what we said to get the appointments. And then I would go meet with you. And Shirley, I would just say, I need to practice with 100 people in my first 30 days. Can I practice with you? And Shirley would say, sure. And I'd go practice and I'd write her name in line number 1. And then I'd say, Shirley, even if she didn't want to do anything with it, I'd say, who do you know that I could share with? I'm just trying to practice with 100 people. And Shirley would say, I know Maggie. So I would say, great, could you call Maggie and, ask her if I could come share with her? So I wasn't even having to do that part of it. She was doing that. And then I put Maggie on the next line. And you guys, down through that, in that first 30 days, I talked to 41 people, not 100. I got to 41 individual appointments, or appointments that were one-on-one, one-on-two. And from that 41 people came my housekeeper, who said she wasn't interested. Then I talked to her mother, and her mother sent me to JoBeth. JoBeth sent me to Ada. Ada brought me to CV. And CV's like, Dr. CV Housel's like 20,000 plus people of our team. Because taking the yellow notepad and having massive action and just saying, who do you know? Who do you know? So even now when we're building, in this next spot, we're asking people, we've got some new products. Can I just come show you some new information? So it's not like I need to say, can I practice with you at this point? But I just say we have new information, and that's why, you've got to be out talking to people. And so if you don't have a list of people, you need a list of at least 100. I don't care if you've been in for 10 years. I still have a list of at least 40 or 50 people. And last week, Laura Stevens did a little training with us, and it was awesome. And she said, think of 10 areas of your life. Like, my daughter does gymnastics. My son plays baseball. We go to church, the school, 10 areas of your life, and get 10 people from each area on a list. And that gives you 100 new names. So that was really great, because I was like, okay, I hadn't thought about this place or this place. And so, and then like our son's going to preschool in the fall, and I'm putting him in a preschool that's 40 minutes from here, because that is like 30 new moms. Like, so, think about where you can get new people. Like, making excuses of I don't know anybody or I don't know who to talk to is not going to help you get where you want. You have to take massive action right now, like immediately, if you're going to get to 6 figures in 6 months. So, and then doing those appointments, calling Amy or whoever you're working with and saying, this is how many, I am going to want you to hold me accountable. This is how many I'm going to do this week, and next week, and next week, and next week, to get you through the first month. Because when you're held accountable and it's measured, your results are so much better. So it's really important to be doing that. And then the next thing is you've got to get yourself to executive. And if you're going to get to 6 figures in 6 months, you better get to executive quickly, because you want to be in the leadership pools. That's really going to help you make enough money. I'm going to show you the way to get there with doing 40 cycles. So it's 6 figures. That's a 6-figure income without the pools. But if you're going to do it quickly, you might as well be an executive, because then you're going to make bank in the pools. Because if you do it fast, we have people on our team making $8,000 a month in the pools, and they've been in Isagenix 4 and 5 months because they hit executive, and then they're growing so quickly. So make sure you right away go to executive. And so I would have executive charts out. Like, I don't know if you guys can see those, but right back there on my wall, like I have executive charts up in my office of who I'm working with, how they're going to get to executive, what's their goal date to get there, how many people they have. Like, I see Kathy on here in Indiana. Hi. And so her name's on one of the charts, and I know where she is, how many people she has, how many more consultants she needs. And that's what you've got to do, not just for yourself, but if you're going to get to 6 figures in 6 months, you have to bring people with you. And I don't care if you're brand new tonight on the call, like, I know Katie and Anthony, you guys aren't new, but say you were brand new today, as soon as you start enrolling people, names need to go on those charts, and they need to be up in your house, because you have to move people with you to get to 6 figures. You cannot get there alone. It's just not possible, and that's not fun anyway. You want to bring your people with you. So get your own executive chart out. If you don't have one, go to Isagenix Business, and it's like pathway to executive, roadmap to executive, something like that. Get that out, print it, hang it up, and get it up, and have it multiple places. Like, until you hit executive, you need to have it in your office, in your bedroom, in your kitchen, everywhere, so that it's in your face and it's your, your focus, because what you focus on happens. And then I did mine in pencil, and then every time someone would actually enroll, I would highlight it. And Amy knows I'm not the most organized person in the universe. If you saw my whole office, you would probably all freak out. That's why I strategically put the computer like this. You can only see nothing. But you guys, so you don't have to be organized to do well at this. Just put this stuff up, have it in your you know, in your space so that you're always focused on it. So that's the next thing I did is really focus on executive. And so the key is like I just said, you can't just do this alone. So the old school way of thinking, or 10 years ago, was that you had to build so many executives on each side and so many, at that point it was called star consultant, which is like a director basically, on each side to get 6 figures. And you can totally do that still, but I'm a numbers person. I like to break this down. So I hope you have a pen and paper and you guys can write all this down. And it just makes it, when I do it this way, anybody can do this, and you guys are going to see that you can do it too. So to get to 6 figures, that is 40 cycles. That's 3-star. Okay. So even if you have 0 volume, I don't care if you're on a leg that nobody ever puts people on. I do not want to hear about it, because that's where I am. We've maxed out how many business centers. I don't really care about why you're there or who put you there. And I'll tell you that, because it's your job to build 2 legs, nobody else's. It's your job. And so what you want to do is, okay, so just follow me here. So 40 cycles at 900 business volume per cycle, right? So that's 36,000 business volume that you need to generate into that business center every week. So 36,000 BV has to be coming up through your team. And you want a 2/3, 1/3 split. So you're going to have 12,000 BV coming up one leg and 24,000 BV coming up the other leg in the ideal world. Okay. So draw that out. You want to have 36,000 volume is what you need total, 12,000 BV up one leg, 24,000 BV up the other leg. Okay. So the company gave us this beautiful 5-cycle bonus. And with the 5-cycle bonus, when someone hits 5 cycles, the first time they're given $250, and the second time they do it, they're given $250 again. So it's easier, much easier to say to someone, let's drive you to 5 cycles than, hey, let's go hit executive, because they look at the chart and they may be overwhelmed. But 5 cycles, they can see, because maybe they've had 1 cycle, or even if they're brand new and they've never cycled, 5 cycles sounds that something they can do. So what you need is, if someone cycles 5 times, it's 900 BV, that's 4,500 BV. So if I went out and enrolled Amy and I helped her get to 5 cycles, I know she's going to generate 4,500 BV to make that happen. And then I enroll Mallory. I know that she's got to generate 4,500 BV to get to the 5 cycles. So you got to have 12,000 up one leg, 24,000 up the other leg. So what that breaks down to is you need 3 people on one leg to hit the 5-cycle bonus, and you need 6 people on the other to hit the 5-cycle bonus. And when you do that, you're at 100,000 a year. Guys, it is that simple. Like, it's 9 people. Look at Paula. She gets so excited. 9 people, and you'll be at a 6-figure income. And so that's why, like, when we go to build this new spot, or as we're building it, I already know there's 3 people that we've enrolled that I know I can get to 5 cycles on there. So I'm like, we're a third of the way done. Like, they may not know that's what the goal is, but I can help them get to 5 cycles, and they're going to get a bonus. They're going to be excited. They're going to be in. And then you can move them to executive. Because, you know, if I said to you, the old way I would say, build this many executives on your left and this many on your right. And you might think, oh my gosh, it took me this long to get to executive. I don't know if I can do that quickly. But getting people to 5 cycles, you guys, and you're going to have 3 up one leg and 6 up the other. So they're going to be sharing volume. They're going to be helping each other. And that's the magic, is when you get them working in teams, you know, that it's not just you helping them, but you have people in that lineage in between you and them helping them too. So, you know, I don't want to make it sound simple, but it really is. It is taking those 9 people and getting them to the 5-cycle match. And if you're already in a position where you have a leg that has volume, then, you know, you have to calculate what that volume is. So say you have a leg that does 12,000 BV already, then you know you have to do 36,000 total. So you just have to calculate what the other leg has to do, because you need 36,000 BV total to hit 40 cycles, and that's a 6-figure income. So, you know, if you've been in for a while, like, you know, Paula, you've been in, or Jessica, you guys are not new. So, you know, take the volume you already have, subtract out what, you know, you're doing, and then figure out what you have to get. And then you can figure out how many people you need to move to 5 cycles. And then you live with those people. And you don't have to even be in their state. Like, you know, there are a bunch of people on our team are building in Michigan, and we've been there, you know, several times, but you can live with them without even being there. I mean, every day text them, every day talk to them, even if it's just 10 minutes. How can you help them? How many 3-way calls are you doing with them this week? How many launch parties, virtual launch parties or in their home launch parties are you doing with them? You're not doing it for them, but you're doing it with them to the point that they understand and they'll do it exactly how you did it, because that's what you want, is that duplication within your team. And that's how that happens. They're going to do what they see, right? So the key is getting 9 people to the 5 cycle bonus. And then if you already have volume, you don't have to have that many. And the other thing is events, which is kind of like a tangent, but the events are so important, you guys. And it's not just yourself, it's taking your teams. And, Holly DeMott is one of our awesome leaders. She's one of our millionaires. And when Holly came in, she hit executive quickly when she started building the business, and she would go to everything. And we were at an event, an ICU in Arizona in March, I don't know, 8 or 9 years ago. And she's like, I'm doing everything that you're saying, but my team, I'm still just not getting, her cycles weren't growing. And so what we did was we looked at her events and that she attended, but she didn't get her team there. So in May, just 2 months later, there was another one. And she took 8 people just 2 months later to that event. And at that event, she hit 1 star. And at the event, she hit it because all of her people were there and they were fired up. And then the next event was Celebration. And she took over 20 people and she had 2 star at Celebration. And if you talk to Holly, what she learned really quickly was that events build your business. Events are key. I mean, if all of you are on this call right now, but you're not going to Celebration, like I wish I could reach through there and like shake you, because that's not an option. That's like whatever your quote real job is, you telling your boss, I don't really care. I don't need to be at the company's event. I mean, we were new. We'd only been in, I enrolled in June. The company event was in August, and we were beyond broke. Like every excuse you have, I could have had. And Kathy Coover Lenny got me on the phone with Kathy, and he goes, she said to me, you don't have to come, but that's where our leaders will be. So I'm like, okay, point taken. And so I just went, you guys, and I'm so glad I did, because I saw Susan Sly and I'm like, if she can do this and she's got little kids, I can do this too. Like, you're going to connect with somebody, whether it's on the stage or in the room, that you need to hear from, because that's why the events are there, and you got to bring your team. So run promotions for your people. I don't care if you're brand new. You could do stuff for your people. Like all your bonuses, like your product introduction bonuses, your rank advancement bonuses, that's not your money. So let's understand this here. Like, the company's compensation plan is 6%. All the bonuses are extra. That's not really the comp plan. So tomorrow they could say, we don't have any of that. And they didn't change the comp plan because all those are promotions. So we've always taken all that promotional money and we've given it away. And that may sound crazy to you, but it works because, Kathy and Jim Coover give back to us, and that's why we work so hard. And if you're loyal to your people, you have to understand that when you get paid every week, your people earn that check with you. You didn't earn it alone. And so, I mean, like at the last ICU in Chicago, I think we gave away 19 tickets to the event, and we do contests and promotions where they can earn them. They have to earn them. We just don't give them away. But we always do promotions where they can get event tickets because we want them at events. We want everybody in events. So if you're brand new, take part of your PIB or a match you get and do something for your team. It can be something small. Send out a book. Send this little As a Man Thinketh, I think is like $10. Get a couple of these and send these to, a couple of people on your team that you think could do something with this. It's all about connecting with your people and having relationships. And the events build such an important community for people to see that Isagenix is way more than a shake and way more than, it's about the relationships that you build. And that's what will get you there long term. And then, so I have on here, plug your team in, make sure you plug your team in. But AIM, I don't know if you have other questions, but it really is that simple. Like everybody's like, what's the secret sauce? And I'm like, the secret sauce is do the appointments, do enough of them, bring your people with you. As you rank advance, they have to rank advance with you. And now you guys, with all the leadership pool, it's so much easier and quicker to hit these levels. But like I said, one of our girls just enrolled in January and she hit it in 5 months. And that was cycle money. That wasn't her executive match. That wasn't the pool. That was just doing this exact same thing. And I can see several of her people on this, and they that's what she did. She got a whole group rallied around the 5-cycle match. And I think in 1 week, they had like 6 people hit 5-cycle match in 1 week. And so when that happens quickly, you can see how you could rank advance really quickly to 3-star. And then it's not just based upon you and a couple people. You have this base of 9 other people. And then those 9 have people within their teams that they're saying the same thing to, so that, you know, you get to 3-star, but then quickly you're bringing those 9 people up with you because you're implementing the same thing through their teams. And it's important that you build deep like that, because if you don't, a lot of people are great recruiters. I'm like, whoa, my hair is a disaster. A lot of people are great recruiters, but they don't build their team. They don't build depth within their organization. And if you do that, when you want to take off, you'll see like a lull in your business. But if you build strength and you build depth and you build people to executive and you get them cycling consistently, then you can take off and take time with your family or go do the things that you want to do. Like when you have your baby, Jessica, you just take off and you have your highest cycles ever because you have leadership within your organization. And that's really important. And that comes through, you know, showing them this, having a system, and the duplication as well. So
I love it. Hillary, one thing I would love for you to kind of just touch on a little bit is, you've already touched on it, but maybe kind of dig into it a little bit, is when you said live with your people. And I think that for me, whenever I'll look at, so let's say that a consultant comes up to me and they're like, Amy, I really want to hit 6 figures. I want to make this happen. And I'll look at their chart and they'll have 12 people personally enrolled in one consultant. And that's the first thing I'll look at, because I feel like it's so much in that duplication. But when you say live with them, can you talk about that? Like, you have, let's say that you just recruit me and I'm like, I'm hungry for this. What do you do with me? Like, what do you do with me?
So like, Mallory, are you at Amy's house, or are you Amy? Where are you at?
She's right next to me.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I know you were together. I just didn't know where you were. I got that part figured out. Okay. So the thing is like, that's what I mean. Like, you're with her. Like, I think it's so important that you guys, people who've never done network marketing, think about when you were brand new, if you've never done this before, like, you didn't know what to do. And so you learned because somebody showed you. And so that's what I think is key. Like, I'll just use Kathy because I can see her. So Kathy's in Indiana. And so I met Kathy and started working with Kathy. And once she said, okay, I want to do this, like, I'm committed to building this, I got on a plane and I flew to Indiana. And I went to her house and we did 2 launch parties. We went and met with people. We met her doctor. You know, we just made connections. And, you know, because I knew she was committed, Amy. So I think that, like Jimmy always says to me, when you sponsor somebody, you take personal responsibility for, you know, training them and them knowing what to do next. And so, and you don't have to go to their house if you don't want to, you know, if you're not doing this full time or whatever, but I just feel like being belly to belly. And I know the Zoom works great because you can see each other, that kind of stuff. But I just love the connections you make and the relationships you build, because then I think the relationship is what, I mean, look, like, we've known each other forever, you know what I mean? And it's because, like, I would drive to your house 4 hours and sit in your house and spend the night, and, you know, your kids would be in their pajamas going crazy. I mean, it's all those little things, you guys, that build this business, that it's a relationship that's so important. And sorry, I have something that came up on my computer. Can you see that?
No, we don't see it.
Okay, cool. But so, I mean, I think that's the important thing, is living with them. So even if they're not, I mean, if they're local, and local to me, I mean, Kansas City is 2 hours. But when I don't, like, one of our girls is named Whitney. When she enrolled, I literally went to Kansas City every single Tuesday for like 5 months, 4 months. I don't know for sure. And then she hit executive, and now her and a couple other of our executives are running a meeting every Tuesday night. But I literally went there every week, Amy, and I like worked with her. We did 3-way calls, whatever she needed. That's what I did, because not everybody's going to come in at the same level, you know? So Whitney might have needed something different than Maria needed. And so I just meet them at their level, but with the idea, I have vision. I think it's so important to cast the vision. So with Whit, she's awesome. She's a strength and conditioning coach. And I said to her, she has 3 little kids, you know, if you could get up on Monday and not have to come here. I hope her boss isn't on here. No, I'm teasing. You know, what would you come here? And she's like, no, I'd be home with my babies. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to show you how to do that. If I can show you how to do that, will you listen? She said, yes. And that's the thing. Like, I figure out for them, Amy, what it is that they really want out of their life. And then I'm like, let's go get that. And we figure out a plan for them individually. So, you know, if I was working with Nikki, then I would ask her, Nikki, if you could get up on Monday and, you know, you didn't have to go to work and you had all the time and all the money in the world, what would you do with your time? And I would find out. And then when I find out, you know, then I would say to her, okay, now let's make your list. And then we take their list literally of 100 plus people and we put it on an executive chart the very first appointment when I'm meeting with them. And so, you know, when I went to Kathy's house, she had her list and we put it on an executive chart and we were filling in, okay, this person has one, who could this person get? And that way, when you leave there, they have it up. And then you're the one calling them, you're the one being proactive because they're still so new, they don't know even sometimes, you know, what's happening. And it's your job. So when we went to Michigan, again, you know, and worked up there, it's the same idea. Like we went to Michigan 3 times over a 6-month window because there was a big group there and we wanted to be in their space and them, you know, understanding how it worked and doing trainings and doing launch parties. And like, we still do that. People are like, do you still do that stuff? Yeah, because we understand and we're grateful for what we have and we want other people to be able to have it too. You know, like Annie, like I want her husband to be able to quit his job and be home with her and their kids. So it's like, same thing as you. That's why you keep doing it, you know, but when you guys enroll somebody, you have to be, and they say they want to do it, you need to be all in with them because a lot of times they've never done it before and they don't know, and it's your job to get them going in the right direction.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And I think that if there's one disconnect in network marketing, I think that that's what it would be, where the sponsor feels like, well, this person's an adult person, they can go do it. Absolutely. But, you know, I came into Isagenix and I had 13 years of experience coming into the company, but I remember making my list with you and having this guy that I would have never called. I would have never called Bob Savernian. I wasn't going to call him. But you sat down with me when I made my list and you were like, would he be good? And I said, yeah, he would completely change the game. And I couldn't wait for you to leave and not ask me about him again. But you got, on the way home, you called me. And then I turned my ringer off on my phone. And then you called Shane and you were like, get Amy on the phone. And I look at that and I think,
you said you were vacuuming your stairs so you couldn't call.
And I never clean. And I was doing anything in my power to not make the phone call. But that phone call literally took me from 10 cycles to 40 cycles in a matter of 2.5 months.
Yeah.
But you, as my sponsor, drove that. And I think that we have so much power. I think that sometimes we're always looking for that magic person that's going to come along. And sometimes we've got to look at the miracle that's actually on our own executive chart, who's in that consultant list. Like, you've got to think to yourself, have I given that person my best? Does that person have 5 to 10 people that they could be talking to? Because I said this to Shirley today. We had a conversation. Shirley's getting ready to hit executive. And Hillary, I asked her today, I'm like, who on your team knows 10 or 15 people? Because for Shirley to take one of her personally enrolled and move them to consultant is actually less work than for Shirley to go out, find a new person, get them sold, make the list. She's got a miracle in her own house, and I think that we do. And so I love that you said that, live with them. I mean, I'm going to put that on my mirror tonight, live with them.
Amy, do you have that book? You gave me that book, and I can't remember who wrote it. There's a Miracle in Your Own House.
Yeah, by Tommy Barnett. Yep.
You guys should get that book. It's so good. And then what Amy is saying is right. Like, it's about developing people. And is everybody that you enroll going to hit consultant? Absolutely not. I mean, that's not what we're saying, but there are people on your team that if you go in and you dig into their teams, that, like, I never do cold marketing. Like, and people always ask me, you know, where do you get new people still? But we build through our team members. So if I go do an event like I went up to one in Indiana for Kathy. We met her doctor, Dr. Banter. And, we met her, did an appointment. And then another one of our team members talked to Dr. Banter. And it was a couple different times. Now she's enrolled and now she wants to put it in her practice. And so from Kathy came Dr. Banter. Then once we know Dr. Banter well enough, we're going to look at her team and we're going to go, who on her team can we take and move up? So you're always digging deep in your team. You're not having to go find just exactly what Amy's saying, new people. There are people in your team, but you're not the one going in and doing it, and you need to be.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I love it. So Hillary, can you share with them just a little bit about the next 10 weeks and a little bit about the program you've developed and how we're implementing that?
Yeah, so we are doing, we started a few weeks ago, and Amy and I are going to start this just in the next couple of days for her team, but a 10-week boot camp. And it's just 10 weeks long. There are requirements each week. There's going to be homework every week. There's a conference call every week. And when you accomplish all 10 weeks, she's got an awesome surprise in store for you that we'll talk to you about on the first boot camp call. But every week, like one of the things we're doing like a 3x3x3 matrix. So every day, the people on the boot camp, 5 days a week, they're making 3 new contacts. They're following up with 3 people, and they're breathing belief into 3 people or giving gratitude to 3 people. So over the week, that's 45 people that you're either reaching out to, following up with, or giving gratitude to. And then there's different homework every week. It's all stuff that's manageable, even if you have a full-time job, because a lot of our people do. But this 10-week program is there so that when you come out on the other end, if you're not an executive yet, you should be if you're doing all the homework, because it's guiding you to that. It's challenging you. We've had some of our people say, we're so glad you did this because we needed the structure it provided. So Amy, it's really just to get people, and yours would end like right after celebration. And it's to get you to the next level, and it's to get all your people plugged in. And every week the homework's due by Sunday night at a certain time. It's how we do it. And if you don't get your homework in, you don't get the phone number for the next week's conference call. So I hate being mean like that, but, and it's been really great though. The last 3 weeks that we've done it, we've had everybody 100% get everything in. So we haven't had to lose anybody yet, but we're doing that because we want to see that people are really serious about this, because if you treat this like a business, it will pay you more than you ever thought possible. And you'll be able to give so much more back. And, it's awesome.
Absolutely. And then, and so that will be it'll be Tuesday night. So in 1 week, Hillary will be teaching our first boot camp call, and that will be a call on the conference line I'll get the details up to you on ISA Rocks and also on Inspired. Is that right, Paula? Is that the name of it? Inspired? Okay. I'll get that up for you guys on there. And and then we also have an amazing opportunity tomorrow night. And we have a 25-day blitz going on for our team. I'm going to be doing some Facebook Live on ISA Rocks all throughout the next 25 days. We're going to have some tech splits, some virtual tech splits. But our first event, our first hoorah, is going to be tomorrow night at 7:30 on the same Zoom that we're on right now, and I'll put the details up. But Hillary is going to be going over the opportunity. And when you have 10 guests on the opportunity Zoom tomorrow night, when you have 10 guests on, you get a camo Your Vibe Attracts Your Tribe t-shirt. Super, super cute. Kelsey asked me tonight if she could have one, but you get that for having 10 guests on. Now, Hillary is amazing at the comp plan. I would have considered myself unrecruitable when she recruited me. If there was anybody on the planet that was unrecruitable, it was definitely me. And she recruited me because she's so darn good at the comp plan. And so if you guys have anybody that's, anybody at all, get them on. Now, I believe in the statement, throwing spaghetti on the wall. And what I mean by that is if you get enough people to listen to this opportunity, you're going to have results. Sometimes we think, well, if I want to get this person in, and we get fixated on one or two people. But that's not really how it works, because we never know. I mean, we never know where the journey's going to take us. And so you're looking at how many people can you get on that call, on the Zoom tomorrow night. And I was coaching my team today because I knew earlier today that we were doing this. And so I was calling through a lot of my team and literally saying to them, okay, who do you know that you could get on the call? If you have anyone that's business minded, you want them on that Zoom. You want them on. And so really work on that. If it were me, I can tell you this. If I'm serious about getting 10 people on, I do not send a text that says, Paula, I'm doing a Zoom. I hope you get on. I don't do that. I don't do that. If I'm serious about my business and I'm ready to hit that executive reset, which some of you guys are going for by the 13th of July, I don't have time to text Paula and say that. I'm going to text Paula and say, girl, I have a crazy question. Can I call you? And when she says yes, I'm going to pick up the phone and I'm going to say to her, girl, tomorrow night there's this amazing opportunity meeting, and I think you would love to hear it. And besides that, I'm trying to win a t-shirt and I need 10 people to hop on. Does that make sense, you guys? Because my posturing, and literally Mallory's asked me before, she asked me this when we were in Florida, what should I say? No, it was Kayla. I don't know where you're at, Kayla. And I told Kayla, I go, Kayla, just say watermelon, watermelon, watermelon. It doesn't matter what you say. It's your posturing and how excited you are that's going to get them on. And that does not come across over a text. And so you can believe it, not believe it. I will tell you, the #1 social media trainer in the world right now, Gary Vaynerchuk, if you listen to his training, he will say that people are text deaf. They're going to get the text. It's a lazy man's way. They're going to get the text and they're going to write you off. You're going to be lucky. And so you want to say, can I call you? Don't say why. Just say, can I call you? Not why you want to call them, just can I call you? They're going to say yes, and you're going to call them and you're going to tell them about the Zoom. If they can't get on the Zoom, you're going to say, oh my goodness, I totally understand. Life's so busy. Would you be willing to hop on the phone with my executive? Because that will count as well. So when you get them on the phone, if they can't do it, you're going to come right back and book with your executive, because you guys, this is a blitz and we are moving you to executive. It's done. Like line in the sand. We're plowing through it. And so tomorrow night it starts. Hillary is a closer, guys. She's going to close. So you guys get them on there. So Hillary, anything else you want to add?
No, you're so funny. I'm taking notes. I'm like, text is a lazy man's way. I like that. Okay, but no, you guys, I mean, it really is your posture. Like Amy, you know what she's saying? Like, I don't know what she said, some fruit or something. But like, it doesn't matter. It matters. People enroll with you because you have so much belief that they want to be a part of what you're doing. Has nothing to do with what Amy is saying, the words. That has nothing to do with it. It's how, like today, Lori, I don't know if Lori Lober's on here, but she went to do a meeting today and she called me. She's like, I'm so nervous. And I'm like, why? You have what he needs. You don't need him. He needs what we have. She's like, oh, okay. And so she went and did it, and she came over and she's like, it went awesome. But the confidence is what is going to attract people. So, you know, get to a 10 in your belief in all the areas, totally different subject, but that's what's going to get people. It's the posture. So yes, get people on there tomorrow night. It's going to be awesome. It's 7:30 Central Time. Amy, will it be the same, like, I'm not a Zoomer because I'm like a bellied person, but will it be the same number they put on tonight, or what are they?
It'll be the exact same number tonight. Exactly the same. And and we will record it, Hillary, so we have it and we can reuse it.
Okay.
So yes, so it'll be the same number, and you guys, I'll put it up on IsaRocks. I'll put it up, and I'll put it on all the pages so you guys have the details. Okay.
Cool. I want a T-shirt, so I'm gonna get.
I think I can hook you up.
Cute. That sounds awesome.
Awesome.
Cool. Yes, guys, just get people on there tomorrow night. And just remember, it's about the only way for you to get to six figures is number one, executive, and number two, get enough people going with you. And that is so much more fun when you have a team of people building together because it creates that momentum and that's what drives it. So 9 people at 5 cycle bonus. Even if you have nobody now, go enroll, get people on the call tomorrow night. You know, we'll enroll, help you enroll people, and then cast the vision for them of 5 cycles. And you guys can do it in 6 months, but it does just take starting today, massive action, no excuses.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Hillary. I'm
You're
fired up. Like, I'm ready to like do it. Thank you. Like,
Awesome.
I'm ready to do it again.
Awesome.
Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much.
Thank y'all.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Thanks, Amy.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye. Good night. Bye-bye.